Good afternoon, seventh grade band. Haven't said that in a long time. Well, it's good to be back working on doing some new ideas. Hopefully, you found your blue book. If you have not found your blue book, I'm working on getting parts uploaded because I know some of you may not have your blue book or you lost it or whatever the case may be. So, if you don't have your blue book, give me time. I'm going to try to get into school tomorrow to get some books because all I have is one book with me at home because here we still are. Well, it is 1:39 right now while I'm doing this recording. And if you're using your blue book, go to page 16. So the next assignment that's due is due on April 30th. And you have two choices because if you're a tuba player or you have an instrument that is not working properly, I give you an alternative assignment. So if you're on page 16 of your Tradition of Excellence book, look at number 78 and 77. 77 is just a rhythm that uses some of the rhythms that are in 78 and introduces some of those. And then 78 is a exercise that actually has a melody with it. So if you're a tuba player or whatever, and you don't have your tuba at home, or you don't have an instrument working, number 77, you're going to write in the rhythms and you're going to clap the rhythms out for me. And make sure that you get that done. You have till April 30th. So if you don't have your book, you'll have plenty of time. Now, in this video, I'm not going to play the exercise for you. So I wouldn't recommend recording it yet. If you want to and you're confident and you can, go for it. If not, wait until I do the actual recording video, which will be coming out soon. But I wanted to get you back into rhythm counting. But before we do that, I just want to say I hope you're all doing okay at home. I know it's been an interesting last month. I know for most of you and for myself as well, but sad not being back in the classroom. I look forward to seeing all of you and welcome you and saying good morning every day for eighth grade band first period. Once we get back to the swing of things next year, it'll be great to actually see everybody in the morning and kind of get back to what we love to do best, and that's play music. So this, I know, is not as fun. I have some other cool assignments coming up that'll get you away from doing some of this more work of learning rhythms and playing your instruments, but still kind of being a team that we all strive to be. So I miss seeing you all, and I loved ending my day with you, so it's sad not to be able to finish our year out together, but we'll stay strong and we'll come up with some new ideas. So if you're looking at this up here, you've probably seen this before, and hopefully you remember back to last year in sixth grade band, Olympic Rhythm Relay, and I kind of laid out a bass rhythm using spatial notation and trying to get your mind back into how to count rhythm. So before you do anything for this, I want to make sure that you understand the rhythms that are there. So we start off with our basic rhythm that breaks down everything else, and that's just counting in 4/4 time, 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. So hopefully you're still able to count quarter notes. Then you know you have your eighth notes, which are broken up from the quarter note, and you have two eighth notes equaling one quarter note, and we know we count those as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and some of you won't see many of these notes in many of the songs that you play, but you're going to start seeing more of them, especially in eighth grade band. When we start playing some more challenging things, you'll see a lot of these rhythms, and they are called what? Hopefully you said 16th notes. Yes, those are 16th note rhythms. Now, I know I didn't put 4/4 time of all of them, so here's a quarter rest in case you're really concerned that I can't count. There you go. So they're all in 4/4 time. But if you're looking down here, when you're counting, you have to come up with more of a subdivision because your subdivision for the quarter note is 1 and. Now your subdivision using 16th notes, we have to use different letters because we can't use more numbers because then it adds more rhythm. So we're going to count these as 1, E, and A. So when you're counting those, remember, you're breaking up the actual beat, and you have 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So if you're keeping your time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4 and so on, they are going to move quicker. So if you're working on number 78 or number 77, take a slower tempo because these 16 notes are going to want to go a lot faster and you're going to rush them. And then the quarter note's not going to follow the time, and neither the eighth notes. And listening to the recordings, that's usually the issue is the eighth notes don't really line up with the quarter note beat that you get. So if your beat really is slow, it's okay. It doesn't have to be quick. So if you're looking at this one, we know it's 1E and A, and this would be 2E and A. Now, in this case, you see a tie, not a slur, because it is the same note. So you know when there's a tie, you're going to start with your first note. It's still going to go E and A, but in this case, we're going to put this in parentheses because we know that that is going to be sustained. So that 3E and it's kind of hard to see will be sustained, and then beat 4 is a quarter rest in parentheses. So remember, always put your rests in parentheses and your sustained notes under parentheses, until the attack of the note, which would be right there, 3, E, and Now, thinking about that, these two rhythms here are different. They look different, but they sound again, I don't really care if you're answering me or not, but they're the same. They sound the same. So if you're looking down here, you're going to count this the same way, 3 and So same thing here. If you're looking at that, we know that that's the exact same thing, but it's going to start with 1. So you have 1 and You don't need to put the E in parentheses because it's not really needed. You can if you want to, but it's not really needed. So when you see a rhythm like this with a single eighth note and 2 16th notes stemmed together, it equals 1 beat, because if you're looking down, all that equals 1 beat. So that equals 1 beat, that equals 1 beat, that equals 1 beat, and so on and so forth. So you still have your 4 beats going across here, but these are counted as 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. So anytime you have those rhythms, if you're looking at number 78, measure 1, you have 1 and a 2 and a 1 and 2 and is how they would be counted. So now this is not the same. It's a mirrored version of this. So if you're looking up here, you can actually label this because they line up. So this would be 2E, and the would be the other 16th note that is missing. So you have 1 and a 2E and 2E and. So if these kept going, these would be 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. These would all go 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1, 1E and 2E and 3E and. So they are different. So on page 17, if you're working ahead, you'll see these rhythms. That's how they're counted. They're in the blue boxes on the top of your page. So when you're working through these, remember, these are how you're going to count those rhythms. So if you are one of those ones with a broken instrument and you don't think you're able to play number 78, please write in the rhythms for number 77. Your answers are right here. You can look at those and kind of use that as a guide to that. When you're looking at number 78, though, make sure it is in 2/4 time, meaning there are how many beats in every measure? 2. There's 2 beats in every measure, and in number 77, there's 4 beats because it's in 4/4 time. Look at your key signature for number 78. Always look at that key signature first. It is in concert E flat major. It's actually in C minor, but we'll learn more about that next year. But just know that you have that concert E flat looking key signature, and there's an accidental in the third to last measure. Yes, there's a repeat at the end. You may use the repeat. Watch that accidental. It carries through that measure. It's only for 1 note, but it erases the note that is in the key signature and makes it up a half step. So it's either natural or sharp, depending on what part you have. So again, if you don't have your book, I will try to do my best to get your music uploaded. It's going to take me some time to get all the books together and do all that, but I'll do everything I can to help you guys out. Remember, when you're working at home, be patient. If you're still struggling with certain things, do what you can. Record it, send it in. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking to see that you're still at home doing something, because I'm trying to do something too. I got up at like 8:30 today. I'm in no hurry, but I'm still getting a lot done that I need to get done. And I have this nice fancy whiteboard now. I got a cool microphone. I bought a light. I'm trying to make it as best as possible for you at home. So I hope you're doing that. Now, there's something else. So if you're still watching the video, which you should be, you're going to notice underneath this video, hopefully, there's a Google form that has a secret number. And all you have to do is click on that secret number. That secret number will show that you've actually watched my video. The secret number is number 41. So on there, you're going to select number 41, and then I'll know you watched the video. If you don't select that one or you ask someone else, just watch the video. The idea is that you're still doing work and still making sure you're getting things done. So 7th grade, I'll talk to you really soon. I'll send another video out with a recording of this so you can play along with me once I have everything else put together. And until then, stay safe, have fun, and let me know if you have any questions. Send me an email. Take care.